Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the opening of 3-in-1. Now we will be hearing lectures about eco-friendly fishing gears, case study small case fisheries in Thailand from Associate Professor Dr. Anukorn Bautsen, who will be led by Master of Applied Science Arif Rahman as today's moderator. To Mr. Arif Rahman, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Oksana. Good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear audiences, my name is Muhammad Arif Rahman, and you can call me Arif. Today, I will be a moderator for this great session, a session that we will have opportunity to learn and discuss about a topic of eco-friendly fishing gear, case study small-scale fisheries in Thailand. So this morning, there will be two excellent speakers that will share their knowledge with us. The first speaker is Associate Professor Anukorn Botson from Kasetsat University, Thailand. Good morning, Mr. Professor Anukorn. Professor Anukorn got his bachelor and master degree from Kasetsat University, Thailand, and then PhD from Tokyo University, Japan. His research area is related to fishing technology, marine environment, and fishery oceanography. You can contact him through email that appear on the screen if you are interested in his research area. And then the second speaker is Dr. Insinyur Gatot Bintoro MSc from Universitas Brawijaya. Good morning, Dr. Gatot. You probably already know him since he is also a lecturer here in Faculty of Fisheries and Marine Science, Universitas Brawijaya. And Dr. Gatot graduated from Universitas Brawijaya, Indonesia for his bachelor degree and master degree from Hull University, England, and doctoral degree from Institut Pertanian Bogor or IPB University, Indonesia. And his research area is related to fishing technology and fisheries management. So in this session, we will have about 2 hours. And then I will divide the session into 3 parts. First part is lecture from Professor Anukorn Bautson. And then second part is from Dr. Gatot. And then third part is question and answer session. And for the audience, you can either ask if you want, either in English or in Indonesia, and you can use the Zoom room chat to write down your question in the third part of this session. Okay, dear audience, we will have our first lecture from Professor Anukorn Botson. And Professor Anukorn Botson, you will have around 60 minutes to deliver the lecture, and I will remind you when your time is less than 5 minutes. Do you want to share your own screen or slide from us? Okay, thank you, Professor Anukorn. The time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi, Profesor.
Waalaikumsalam, Prof. Anukorn.
Yes, thank you very much for the invitation. I'm pleased and honored to be here. Sawadee krap again. My name is Anukorn. I'm Thai Muslim. I'm from Department of Marine Science, Faculty of Fisheries, Kasetsat University. Thailand. And we say Sawadee krap for the man, and the lady we say Sawadee ka. Yeah, Selamat pagi. And this is my outlines that I will talk today. And then start with the introduction of the fishing gear and how the importance of the fishing gears, and I will show you some important statistic about the catch and the fishing gear. And this is just to share the information. Maybe you have the other idea or different between Thailand and Indonesia. And the second, I will talk about the classification of the Thai fishing gear, and how is it when compared with the international, I mean with the FAO classification. And I will follow the last with some fishing gears, the structure and the operation, and maybe also some cash. And this is I like this photo. It's the collet boat. It's the fishermen try to make the boat, the fishing boats. It's very beautiful like this. Maybe in your country you have also like this. This is particularly for the small scale fishing boat in the southern part of Thailand. As you know, maybe the Thailand, we have the Gulf of Thailand, and this is the Pacific Ocean, and the western part is Andaman Sea, the Indian Ocean. So the total is about 2,600 kilometers, 23 coastal provinces. So, and we are located at the tropical zone. So we have a lot of marine resources and biodiversity, as we know. And this is very important for the protein supply or the tourism or the others. And this slide show the fishery productions, marine plus the freshwater. So I'm sorry, it's the information not to update because the 5 years they release one statistic. But anyway, you can see the how much we have the fishery production. This is for marine and freshwater. So from this curve, you can see nowadays maybe around 3 million tons. 3 million tons nowadays. And can you imagine the 3 million tons of the fishery products? It's a big number, right? And anyway, if you see the trend, it's going down. Yeah, maybe this is the trend of the world also, not only in Thailand. And if we see in the terms of value, it's not going down, it's increasing. In Thailand, we have the value about a year, maybe this is in Thai baht, but in US dollar, maybe more than about 6,000 million US dollar. Yeah. And increasing, the trend is increasing. Even the amount is going down, but the value is going up, right? And one point here that I would like to show you, this is just roughly calculation. If we consider at the baht per kilo, I mean the price per kilo, roughly, you see in 1997, 32 baht per kilo, and when around 10 years later, just 36 baht per kilo, and even nowadays, just around 67 baht per kilo. Just only $1 per kilo, and this is around only $2 per kilo nowadays. The point here is how we can add the value of our products. Even we catch, the number is reduced, but if we can increase the value. That's the maybe the happy for the fishermen and for our development. Try to catch less. And if compare between from the marine and the inland water, and in Thailand you can see a big difference between marine and inland. From marine, the capture production from marine is much more important than from the inland. And when we look at the production from the aquaculture, yeah, from the coastal nowadays it's maybe going down because of many reasons, maybe the environment and maybe the many reasons. And from the fresh water, anyway, from the fresh water is quite stable. Okay, let's see the cash composition in the 2017. And in terms of amount, you can see the marine capture is composed big number percent, right? About 55%, 1.3 million ton. And then the number two is cost of culture is about 20%. This is the information, the data from fisheries statistics from Thailand. And freshwater about 17%, and inland capture 8%. So marine capture is play important for the amount. But in terms of value, you can see the big value is not from the capture, it's from the culture. Maybe this is the trend of the world, not only in Thailand. So even the amount only 20%, but in terms of value is more than 40%. And marine capture reduced to 36% in terms of value. This is because of the price is cheap, right? But in the cost of culture, they do with the expensive, the marketable value species. Yeah, maybe in the future, I'm not sure. Marine capture maybe less than this. Maybe I will be jobless in the future. I don't know. And if we compare between the Indian Ocean and the Gulf of Thailand, of course, the Gulf of Thailand is the bigger area, the longer beach. So the main is from the Gulf of Thailand. The trend be like this since 10 years ago and more than 10 years ago. So in terms of the capture fishery, the Gulf of Thailand is more important than Indian Ocean. And this is, we look at the cash composition according to the fishing gear. We can see what kind of fishing gear is important or play role important in Thailand. And from this information, you can see the total marine capture around 1.3 million tons in report in 2019. The main fishing gear is, I mean the catch from this gear is trawl. It's about 45%. Number one is trawl in Thailand. So in terms of the cash amount. And the number two is percent. I think everybody know percent, right? And you can see around 32%. 32% is percent. Of course, number one is trawl. And these two fishing gear is, we call is the not the passive gear, it's active gear. It's moving when they operate, right? And if you look at this information, this is 45, this is around 30. So it's more than 75% or around 80% from this country is from these two fishing gear. So these two fishing gear is very, very important in terms of the cash. In terms of the, if you want to consider about the management, I think this is very important. And in terms of the problem also, many big problems from, particularly from trawl. Yes. And number three, if number 3 like this is just a QNet around, but it's very far away from number 2, right? Around 6%. Sorry. The number 3 is falling net nowadays. Falling net is mean the it's a live fishing. The target species is anchovy or the squid, and the fisherman use the light to attract the species and use the net falling. And number 4 is QNet. Even QNet is only 6%, but if you is the common gear. I mean, if you go to the fishing village or the fisherman communities, this gear you will see very often, and is related to is engaged to the many small fishermen, small scale fishermen. And the next is about this group. This group is the mainly spot or trap. And in my opinion, if we think about the sustainable or about the eco-friendly gear, the pot or trap, it should be considered, because they are the passive gear. They just wait for the fish enter. So it's more friendly than the active gear as straw, like that. But in Thailand, the main is not the eco-friendly gear, I think. So many problems. And this is when we look back to the around 10 years later, 10 years past. You can see the trawl is reduced because of maybe many problem, and we have also the problem from the IUU. We have the problem because of the reduce of the cash. So maybe in the future, the composition of trawl may be also reduced. I think. And this is surprise. The cash by country from FAO surprised me, because Indonesia is number 2. You can see, and number one nowadays, China. This is also a surprise. But China maybe they are number 1 with everything now. And big surprise for me is Indonesia. Oh, but you have many islands, right? And you have the a big what we call ocean area of the ocean. So you also catch a lot of the. If I'm not sure about the how correct of the statistic for FAO, but anyway, Indonesia now number 2, and Thailand we are number 13. So we catch about 1.5, but you catch about 6.5. China is about nearly 20. Oh, very big number. And in a year, the total around 90 million ton. Actually, we have a lot of resources in this world. You can imagine 90 million ton per year, every year. But anyway, in the future, I do believe this is will decrease, and we should think how we maintain, how we make it long-term use, how we sustain this one. I think we have to think about that. And this slide, I just want to show the, when we talk about the how important of the fisheries, how important of the fishing gear, we usually think about how big, how much of the cash, how much money we get, something like that. But in some point, I think this is also beautiful. For example, as I mentioned, this is collect boat. The fishermen try to make the boat beautiful. Yeah. And in Thailand, we have the play. We call pung pang. Pong pang is the kind of fishing gear. It's a set back net, and the children play like it. Not our children generation. It's our father generation, and they play pong pang. And in the play, they have like a song, and they โพงพางเอ่ยปลาเข้ารอดปลาตาบอดเข้ารอดโพงพาง something like this. This is the what I would like to say. The fishing contributes beautiful art and culture. Yeah, this is not the money, but this is the beautiful of the art or the culture, something like that. And the next topic, I would like to talk about the classification of fishing gear in Thailand. I don't know in Indonesia. I never study about the fishing gear in Indonesia, but I have some friends, some good friends who study about the fishing gear. I have some good friend in IPB, and what we call university in Serang City. Yes, I university there. Yeah, this is the classification of fishing gear in Thailand, and we have 13 types. The surrounding net, yeah, number 2 in Thailand, right? And the seine net, the trawl, dredge, lift net, falling net, gill net, push net, pot and trap, set net, setback net, hook and lines, and miscellaneous gear. Actually, we try to follow the FAO, the international classification, and FAO they have 12, and number 1 to number 7 we follow the FAO from the surrounding net to the gill net, right? And the difference from 8 to 12, FAO number 8 they use trap or pot, and in Thailand we separate the trap as pot, set net, and setback net, number 9 to number 11. This group the FAO put here in traps, okay? And number 9, hook and line. We have also hook and line number 12. And grabbing and wooding, we don't have all very little amount, so we don't have grabbing and wooding. And the harvesting gear, this is also we don't have, like the pump maybe, and the miscellaneous gear from the FAO. So you can see that how different between the Thailand and FAO classification. And also number 8, we have push net. FAO, they have push net also, but it's not important in the international viewpoint. So they put here in the miscellaneous gear. And this is, in my opinion, this is suitable for us, for Thailand. I'm not sure in Indonesia, if anybody can share me later. And I have the question to the student. My question is, bomb is a type of fishing gear? Maybe not only the bomb, maybe like the, for example, cyanide, or you use the electric, something like that. Do you think they are the type of fishing gear? This is my question. And I may hear the answer after finish my talk. And this is, I would like to show you some fishing gear and method in Thailand. Of course, the number 1 is trawl. The most efficiency, the most important, and the biggest problem is from trawl. And surprisingly, trawl, the transfer technology is not from US, not from Japan, but it's from German in 1960. I don't know what happened at that time, but the transfer is from German, the trawl. And we have 4 types of the trawl in Thailand. The number 1 is pair trawls. Pair trawls mean 2 boats, 1 net, 1 very big net, very big net, but two boats. And the number 2 is the most maybe the biggest number of the trawl in Thailand is Autobot trawl. Autobot trawl, you can see the Autobot here at the Autobot, a couple. And this is the boat like this. And number 3, the Autobot trawl with boom. This is boom. They have the Autobot and also they have boom. This is some book put it together, but I would like to separate here. And this boat is smaller than this boat usually in Thailand. And number 4 is the beam trawl. 1 small boat and 2 nets here. They catch the target species is shrimp around the river mouth. Yeah, beam trawl. And of course, the trawls, every trawls in Thailand are bottom trawl. But if we look at the catch, sometimes it's not only the bottom species, it's pelagic species also can catch. Surprise. For example, like the Spanish mackerel, sometimes you can catch by trawl. Some sket or some the mackerel, you can catch from trawl. And also sometimes we had a lot of trash fish. Trash fishes mean the not expensive fish. That's it. We provide for the feed for food, feeding the fish. Yeah, we can say the trawl can catch everything in Thailand. And this is the number 2 of the important in Thailand is the person surrounding nets. And this is the boat. And you can see the bridge is very high to observe the fish school, right? And biggest number of the fishermen on board. And nowadays is a big problem because the worker on board is the big problem in Thailand also. It's the person boat or the personer in Thailand. Now we still use the wooden boat, but in the future, I think maybe the iron boat will come. And of course, the person they will catch the schooling fish, the pelagic species mainly. So many species can be the target species for the person, particularly the pelagic species. And this is the same nets. It's the same nets or bisane. It's not so many in Thailand, and the fishermen will operate only when a lot of fish and only some season. This is one sample in the fishery province. They use the bisane. If we see the structure of the net is the gill net, it's not the bisane net. But if we see the operation is the bisane net. The target species maybe some mullet and maybe some squid. So it depends on the season. And this is the special one also for the catching method because they use the lights. So the falling net nowadays is if we can look at the catch is number 3. The target species squid or anchovy. And this is the squid falling net. And this is the anchovy falling net. And you can see the structure of the gear is like this and use the light. And this is the operation when they operate the anchovy net. A very small mesh size because of the anchovy is very small species, right? Small size species. And this is the gill net that we always see when we go to the fishing community, the fisherman community. The structure is simple and the operation also simple. And you can see the some area. You can see the fisherwoman on board. Fisherwoman, not only the fishermen, but it not often. Not every area. Usually the father and son together. But anyway, you can see the couple and the long tail boat. Usually, if long tail boat in Thailand is southern part of Thailand, and the operation shooting, right? Simple structure, simple operation. And this is when the fisherman hauling. Sometimes even one fisherman can do that. I think so many in Indonesia also, the QNet and the operation like this. And the target species for the QNet is variety because it can operate at the bottom, at the surface, at the mid water, so they can apply for the species. And this is the push net, sometimes with boat or without boat. And this is the show some the push net boat in Thailand. And nowadays the big one is illegal, operate at the bottom. And this is the trap and pot. If we think about the sustainable, as I mentioned, I think trap or pot is very interesting. And I do believe we can much improve for the trap and the pot in Thailand. And some ideas we can get from the fishermen, but maybe some idea we should get from the experiment. And in the sense of European, between trap and pot, they have some different, of course, in the same type, right? Trap and pot. But I asked the European, the expert, they think they told me that the pot in the European sense is, if we use pot, it means small and no guidance. But if we use trap, it means very big and there is the guidance. For example, the wing, something like that. So, but in Thailand we use both. I don't. Anyway, in Thailand we can see the variety of the pot or the traps. Fish, if this fish, squid, shrimp, crab, and shell. Variety. And even nowadays we have the octopus pot. This is like the last. It's not so new, but it's like a new fishing gear. 10 years ago, nobody care about the octopus, but nowadays it's become the expensive species to export to Japan or to Korea for teriyaki. Yeah, this is the octopus pot. Operate at the bottom. We use the shell and octopus enter. The fish pot. The fish pot in Thailand, the structure like this, and they will catch many species, particularly the species around the coral reef. The main target, of course, is the expensive species as the groupers. I show you some operation for the pot. If the fisherman use the hauler machine, the operation will be like this. Yeah, this is not fisherman. It's me. Someday I become pretend to be the fisherman. This is the catch from the fish pot. The soaking time around one or 2 weeks. You catch like this. This is in Rayong province. And if no hauler, the fisherman very professional and very strong. No hauler, only wrangler. The operation not so far from the shore for the fish. for the fish because they have to operate around the coral reef, artificial reef or the nature reef. It depends, and only one fisherman can operate. This is quite good catch in Rayong province. And one of my students study about the squid pot. Many interesting points from the squid pot, and we do believe we can much improve from the squid pot. And the target species is big fin reef squid, this species, and sepia. But the main is this one, this species. And this is the structure of the pot. One entrance and the shape like this. This you can see here is the eggs, squid eggs. The fisherman believe this is the best bait to attract the squid. Yeah, and the fishermen the first day they will use the plastic bag and foam like this to inside. And you see the operation shooting. This is very far away from the shore. Maybe the same fishing ground with the trawlers. Very far away. One day the fishermen maybe go and back more than 100 kilometers in Rayong case. Yeah. In the video set one by one. And when they retrieve, fishermen hauling up, and you can see the catch inside. Mainly the target species is the squid, and very big size. And we did some experiment about the behavior, underwater behavior. If we have the time, maybe next chance, I will show you some very interesting point from the squid pot fishing. And we also have the shrimp pot, shrimp trap. This is the shrimp trap in Songkla Lake, and the fisherman operation. And the other pot that very popular used in Thailand is the blue swimming crab pot. I think in Indonesia you have a lot of this. I think it's the box shape and it's collapsed. So when it's collapsed, the fisherman can carry big number on board. And you can see the small scale and the small scale like this and the commercial scale. Small scale like this, around 300 pots on board, right? But here, some boats, it can reach 5,000 pots. 5,000 pots. When I say the pot or the trap, it can be long-term use or sustainable. But when I see the 5,000 pot on board, I'm not sure. It's too much, I think. And this is my good friend, Professor Ebata from Japan, from Kagoshima University. Sometimes we work in Thailand together to join on board. And you can see the small scale pot operation. The only one fisherman. This is Professor. And you can see for the small scale, they set the individual setting. The fishermen very busy. They do everything, right? To see. And the small scale usually they operate very close to the shore. Yeah, I will talk about the small scale in the next I mean on the 10 or 11, the next lecture in a study case in Rayong. Yeah, many interesting points from the small scale also. And this is the octopus pot. The special of this gear is very high species selectivity. You know, I have one student to study about this. Only one species enter this, no other species. It means in terms of the species selectivity is very good. And this is the operation of the passport commercial scale. No bait, just put at the sea bottom. And stone nets or setback nets used in particular in the canal before the river mouth. We can see this gear. Set net, stick trap. And this is the we say the set net from Japan. My Professor Arimoto tried to transfer this technology to Thailand in Rayong, and the idea is the fishermen can work together because it's not so big, but it's big scale. The fishermen cannot operate by one man. So how they work together with the eco-friendly gear. So this is the idea of the set net. When the fish come and they go to the deeper and they will to the trap net or slope net later, and the fishermen just catch from here. This is the from Himi City, the city of fish in Japan, transferred to Thailand. Yeah, I passed this one, and this is in Thailand, in Rayong set net operation. You can see the fishermen work together. The technology from Japan, but the material we can find in Thailand, and this is the cash. Yeah, the cash. You can see is there the schooling fish, and the fluctuation of the catch is very high. It mean today maybe 1 ton, but tomorrow maybe no catch. It's because this is the catch, the set net, and depend on the season. The species will enter different season, so will be different species. Yeah, I would like to skip this part. The message from here, if this is the population, world population, and the year, if the trend be like this, in 2050 we will reach around 9,000 million people. But anyway, maybe because of the COVID-19 or maybe or the other will happen, I don't know. But the point is, we need the food. We need the food. And how we keep the sustain. Okay, I think I still have time. How many minutes I have? If I still have, I would like to show an experiment for the improving the cash efficiency for the crab. Okay, anyway, the future challenge that I would like to show. Okay.
Yeah, Prof. Anukon, you still have more than 20 minutes, so it's
okay.
okay.
Okay, I will show you the other slide about my experiment. I'm sorry because I misunderstood about the time, so I don't, so I prepare not so many slides. But anyway, this last slide for here, I would like to this is our future challenge, how we save the fish habitats, the mangrove, coral reef, sea glass, etc. This is very important. If we cannot save this, we have no fish to catch. And we always think about the sustainable fishery resource use. I am in the viewpoint of Muslim, the world will be in, right? We cannot sustain. Anyway, how can we use in the long term and better than this? And in the viewpoint of fishing technologies, how we improve the fishing gear selectivity in the future, how we catch only we want to catch, and we release that we don't want to catch, something like that. Of course, it's very difficult for our countries like Indonesia, Thailand, because we are in the tropical zone. We have many species, and we have a lot of micro habitats. But I think we can do and reduce the negative impact of fishing. For example, the bycatch, the discard, and even nowadays is very a popular issue, very hot issue is about the coast fishing or coast gear. How we can reduce that negative impacts. So save our sea, save our fisheries, and our next generation. So I have about 20 minutes. I would like to show the other slide that my experiment is very interesting to improve the pot fishing. And please don't hesitate to let me know if the time is finished. Okay, don't worry, I will stop. Okay, this experiment, I didn't give you the slide, but because the time remain, I would like to show you the title is some behavior on the behavior of blue swimming crab in experiment tank to improve the catch efficiency of the crab pot with my professor. And this is the crab, blue swimming crab, very important and economic species in Thailand and in Indonesia also. And one of the fishing gear that the fishermen use is this one, the collapsible pot, this shape, this side. And here we call slope net, okay? Because we think the crab enter by this way. So this is important, we think. And in Thailand, you can see because it's popular, we have the small boat to catch around like this, and the commercial scale like this one. And you can see the different scale is different everything. And you can see the big difference between the pot on board. It's around 300, but this can reach 5,000. And I show you the operation. For the small scale, the fisherman will baiting, boxing, then shooting, one man. But in the commercial scale, they have the very good teamwork and the master fisherman. Same process, but big different scale. And the retrieving, the fisherman will hauling, collapsing, collecting, and rearranging for the small scale. Commercial scale, the same thing, but very good teamwork, very fast. Maybe one pot only around 3 or 4 seconds. So, you know, why the slope net is interesting. Have you ever seen the crab enter the pot? You know, when I ask the fishermen, of course they're very professional, right? But when I ask them, have you ever seen the crab enter the pot? I think very few fishermen can observe this. They never see underwater. They just use the experience and they understand like that. And this is the side word. This is in the experiment we observe by the video camera. We put in the tank, not in the ocean, not in the sea. Okay, and the crab will enter like this. I say this is sideward, and the other case is backward like this. See backward like this. Okay. And in some case, it's not the crab cannot success, no trapeze like this case. This crab is very hungry and angry maybe because hungry and is trying to enter the pot. And this pot is conventional pot. It's made nowadays. The fishermen use this pot. And you can see when the crab is crawling the slope net, it look not comfortable, not easy to enter. And in that experiment, I hang on the bed here. So finally, this crab is not enter. Just enjoy the bait at the slope net. Happy. But the fisherman cry because big crab, no catch. Something like that. Yeah, many cases in our observe like this. So we think to observe some behavior to understand the capture process and also to compare the message. Because from the observation we see the not easy or not comfortable for the crab to enter, and we think if we can improving that part and we can improve the catch efficiency. So let's see again how uncomfortable to crawl on the last message. Yeah, it's start. Yeah, like this. The crab is not easy. It's like the fell to the mesh, the big mesh size mesh. So you can see it's like it start to angry and use the shillipede to pinch the mesh, something like that. Yeah, and no catch, no entrapment, and struggling on the slope net about 2 minutes. It's too long. So we think how we improve this part to easier for them to enter. And our idea is smaller mesh size is better. Yeah, we try to do experiment to like this, like that. And the experiment is very simple. We just change the slope net mesh size with the smaller. And this is the conventional 38. We use the smaller 25 and 18, like this part, only this part. And one note here, because of I would like to make clear that the video camera can record very clearly. So I remove the upper panel for easy observation. Put in the tank with the medium size of the crab in a station. And we observe by the video camera to understand the capture process, how the crab approaching to the pot or the bait, and also to observe some behavior. And this is the sum results. You can see, and this is 38 millimeter conventional with the smaller and the smallest 3 meshes. Same number of the crab number two, same crab. You can see the conventional still struggling, right? but the smaller was much faster to enter. But anyway, finally, this can enter also, but the time to taste at the silhouette is very long. If longer, it means possibility to not enter is more. Yeah, we check the time. And because of the repetition, it's not so many times yet. So I cannot, I didn't publish this paper yet, but the trend be like this. This is, I just showed you the how act of the grab on the slope net conventional from the first touch until trapeze. And you can see when the smaller message, the time is reduced. The time is reduced. But anyway, even the smallest, sometimes it may happen like this too long. But anyway, the when we reduce the message, the time on the slope net also reduced. Yeah, something like that. And the interesting case also the untrapped. You can see the conventional net 38 millimeters, big number, but smaller is less number. And this is the result of our behavior. The capture process, the crab will start to approach maybe by the bait inside or by the pot itself, and then crawl up the slope net, enter, and after enjoy the bait, they may stop or may take a rest, or after that they try to escape. This is many interesting information. And from our observation, we see the behavioral patterns. The first one, the crab enter the pot by the crawling the slope net. You know, the name is swimming crab. But when they enter the pot, they never enter by swimming, just crawling. And if the leg can reach, I don't know, maybe here, can reach the edge of the slope net, they will never return back. Here, if the, yeah, here, can reach here, never return back. But if not yet, they may return back, or they try again, something like that. Yeah, when they will try very hard to enter. Yeah, success for that one. And after reach the bed, they prefer to start at the belly part, maybe because of the smell. And after feeding, they will try to escape. Yeah. And they stay at the bottom and try to find the way to escape. And if you remember, I removed the upper panel. It should be easy for them to escape, but actually it's very difficult for them to escape because of their behavior. Just stay at the bottom like that. And this is the escape win for sustainable crab use. So this is my paper when I was the PhD student. Yeah, I try to make the size selectivity for the crab by using the escape winds. And because of the behavior I show you, the disease can be success. And they are very hard to eat the bait. You know, sometimes the crab try to enter, but not from the slope net. They try very hard to eat the bait from the wrong side, like this. This is more than 9 minutes. It's try like this. I cannot show you all, but I just cut some. Yeah, show you. Try very hard, right? And inside the pot, sometimes they have the territorial behavior, not getting close. Yeah, something like that. This is not good idea for the small side if together with the big side, right? So from our observation, this is possibility to improve the catch efficiency. The first, we smaller mesh side. This part, I mean this part, how to make it smaller and chop the slope net because of some behavior that I already show you. And this is maybe no need. 19 centimeters high is too much because the crab just stay at the bottom. Anyway, I use the possibility because I cannot confident because the repetition still poor. So more interesting point at the slope net, we should consider about the entrance, the anchor, the tension, many points. Yeah. This is my favorite photo with my Kai professor. ขอบคุณครับ Thank you very much. Terima kasih. Yeah, this is all of my presentation today.